Hi everyone, welcome to this webinar. Thanks for joining us today. I am Charles Liu, one of the product managers of ServiceWise and CustomerWise. In today's session, I'll go over the major changes and features in the most recent release of ServiceWise and CustomerWise 10.0. And before we dive into details, I'm very pleased to have our CEO, Terran Zhou, join us as well, and you will be hearing a brief overview and update directly from him at the beginning. And now let's welcome Texel CEO Terran Zhou. Hi, Terran.
Hi, thank you, Charles. Hi, everybody. I'm Tirenzo, founder, CEO, and chief architect of TechCell. I want to thank you for attending our webinar on introduction of ServiceWise and CustomerWise 10. For the past 3 years, we have been working on improving ServiceWise and CustomerWise for creating a modern-looking and feeling ServiceWise and CustomerWise for its user interface and for its functions. As many of you know, that TechCell products are functionally rich and with fully definable workflow and business process automations. While CustomerWise and ServiceWise are web-based, but they did not represent the modern user interface for the best user interface and the usability experience. But TechCell is always committed to develop the best tools utilizing our development experience and our tons of development talents. So for the past 3 years, we have developed 9.0, 9.5. Now after another 8 months to 12 months of effort, we are releasing 10. With the 10 release, we are proud that we are confident that we are delivering our tools with the modern user interface for its user experience, look and feel, and for its beauty. CustomerWise ServiceWise 10 is significant because it represents a milestone that we have achieved. Our user interface is now among the industry's best. We still need to improve the product. It provides a dynamic tab approach for showing the CustomerWise and ServiceWise functions. So at any time, you can perform tasks with the entire window size showing the information that you need to be primarily focused on. And with other information and tasks easily clickable to switch to other tabs to see whether it's showing other tasks because you are supporting your employees or customers. You might receive calls. You might need to take a quick look of other tasks, or you need to create new tasks. And I'm very proud of our development teams for their dedicated work. I want to you guys know that TechCell is always committed to develop the best tools possible. Initially, we wanted to release our 10 around November last year, and we timed our user conference for this kind of purpose for both our product line of ServiceWise as well as DevSuite. Because of the additional work needed, because the product was not at the quality for us to feel proud and pleased of, so we decided to delay our user conference last year. But it does not mean we are not committed. We are fully committed to developing our product. We actually have we employed a lot of resources for our development and the quality assurance teams because TechCell is always a good, excellent company in terms of developing products with functions and quality. And moving forward, I want our company to focus on our CustomerWise and ServiceWise development to achieve the following goals. First, we will further improve our product, while from today's webinar, you shall see we have the best user interface now in this industry. But for many areas, we still lack of the detail and the fine-tuning of the user interface. So we will further improve it. And we will also commit our mobile solutions, further improve iPhone and Android phone-based ServiceWise and CustomWise. We will do our best to satisfy our customers, take care of your enhancement request, because with this milestone, functionally and the user interface, we have done a good work. That means our development resources can be more dedicated to respond to your enhancement request. And fourth, we will working on ServiceWise and CustomWise to be SaaS-based, to be not only providing the SaaS solution with the best possible user interface and the functions, we will make our SaaS to be unique in terms of scalability by supporting multi-sites. So I want to thank you for having your confidence in TechSL. We appreciate your business. With that much said, I want to now switch the presenter to Charles Liu. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much. Thanks, Taryn. And I'll be continue from here. So before we actually looking at the product, everybody please feel free to drop any questions during the session. We'll try to have a Q&A session after we finish this introduction. And if they are not addressed in this webinar, we'll try to reach you via emails after that. And actually, we have a lot to cover, so I'm not sure if we're going to have the Q&A session after the introduction part. Okay, so I think I've already shared my screen. If anybody can see my screen, if anybody had a problem, please type in your chat. So as you can see, as mentioned by our CEO, we have released ServiceWise 10, and we're very excited to show you this brand new version with the brand new GUI. So during this session and demo, I'll mainly use ServiceWise as an example, but please be aware that I would say almost all the features and changes are applying to both ServiceWise and CustomWise. Okay, so let's get started. Right now, what you can see on the screen is our new login page. As you can see, the look and feel is already improved. And if we dive into the home page for the first look, you can see we have a major UI change on the home view and on the layout of the web version. Basically, the first change I would like to mention here is we have moved all the main views from the top to the left side in the interest of giving user more space to work on their issues, to see their views, and to maximize the workspace. You can even fold the views on the left, and you can switch between views like you did before. And what's improved here is before, every time when you click on the view, the browser actually reload that view, but right now every view is always cached here. So if you ever click into a view and the next time you go back to that view, it will be seamless and amazingly fast. So another thing that we did here is the tab-driven framework. And the framework really, we took a lot of thinking in the tab-driven framework. The reason is basically you can now have a incident or a event or a employee or even a knowledge. They can both, they can all be standing in a tab, and they are all can be switched seamlessly. And even if you want to create a new incident, it will also be in a tab. Basically, we're introduced this tab-driven approach to help users to reach multitasking. And we think it's going to be really great when you actually have to work on multiple items at the same time. And you can switch between them very easily. And in terms of the Submission New tab, you will always have access to those create new items now, always on the New tab. Before, it will have a separate button in different views, and now no matter which view you're in, you're always going to have that on the Create New tab. And then let's talk about the Submission New tab. So in the Submission New tab, you can actually create multiple submission new tabs. So before we can only create an incident at a time, and now you can actually create a third or a fourth incident if you're working on one of them and you receive a call from your customer, and then you can instantly create another new incident tab and to hold off the previous work you have down here. And speaking of the new tab, as you probably already noticed, that we are having this one-page submission approach now. Before, we are having this wizard-driven multi-step submission methods, which is still available as an option. But in version 10, we really introduced and encourage our user to use this one-page submission where you can have all the information that require to be filled out divide into sections, and they're foldable once you finish them. And we also, for example, if I'm in CustomerWise, I will have all the customers and contacts in here as well. And the great thing about this customer section is now we have integrated the drop-down search in the customer selection drop-down as well. So now you can actually find a customer or employee much easier. And besides the new tab and the new framework, we have also done a lot of more features that's related to the new UI, and they're all coming up with the new UI. We have spent a lot of thinking in the usability and little details that you can feel that the product is getting easy to use. And let me show you some of those. We'll be starting off from incident view, but we'll take a look at this new project selector here. So this project selector, before it was a dialog on the home page, but now you can access it from the outer frame at any time. And as you can see, it now can include all the products across Texel product line, including DevSuite. And if I have a ServiceWise project in the database, then it's going to be integrated here as well. And with just one click, you can do single sign-on to the ServiceWise project as well. And of course, if you're having both CustomerWise and ServiceWise in the same database, and then the CustomerWise projects are going to be listed here as well. So little details in the incident view are we have the ability to have multiple selection controls on the toolbar. And to turn it on is really simple, that you can just turn it on with one click from the toolbar, and then you'll have the multiple selection controls for your owner and status field. And similar to that, before you have to switch on the show events options in the utility view, but right now you can do it right from the right click menu or from the toolbar menu, and with one click you're able to switch the incident view with the embedded events or linked task under the incident list view. And of course, the searchable dropdowns are available here as well. And little improvements like the collectible toolbar, which gives you, again, more space to work on your incident list. And as you probably not noticed, when you click the toolbar, there will be a handy search button under the bottom as well, so you can actually do some search from here. It will return you the desired results as similar to the search box on the top when the toolbar is expanded. And one of the exciting features that in the incident view is the column filter. So we have selected a bunch of fields, including some data fields and some priority or current owner fields, and you can actually do filtering right in the incident list. Say if I'm filtering to low priority, and I can do more filtering based on the date. I have both after and before and between option as well, and you can do some date filtering here, and all of the column filters can work together, so you can actually apply multiple conditions on the incident view in order to find the right task that you want. And we have also introduced shift select on the incident list view. So it's just like how you do on your regular OIS file system, that you can do shift select. And another thing here is we have putting all the incident templates available on the create new tab as well, which is easier to use. And that's some of the major usability improvements in the incident list view. And now in the event view, we have improved all those details as well. As you can see, there are column filters here as well. And in the web activity view, we have added a largely request function that is the group delete. And in the customer view, we actually have redesigned a lot of the setup dialog, which is, for example, here, we're having this setup employee view dialog right on the employee view here. This dialog used to be sitting under utility view, and it's relatively hard to use. And we have redesigned the UI and bring it out right on the employee view, where you actually configure them and you can see them. And small features like that are taking place all over the system. And another thing to mention is we have also introduced a little theme here. We have added a blue opal in addition to our default theme, which give you a much nicer look. And we'll be adding more themes in the future. And now, besides all those great GUI features, we have also got some improvements on the functionalities as well. As our CEO mentioned, that we have always committed ourselves into bringing user more functionalities, and here's some of those functionalities improvements in 10. One of this is largely request the improved password policy control. As we have added for both team members and your end users, that we now have the ability to define special characters, and we'll have a password expiration policy, and we'll have the ability to enforce password to be different from previous passwords. And this feature is coming in 10. as well as in latest 9.5 patch. And another big feature we introduced here is the SLA changelog. So the SLA changelog is actually going to be under the history section. And the SLA changelog really gives you the full traceability during the lifetime of all the SLA change that's ever happened on an incident. So every time when you switch to another plan or your team member respond within the SLA, you will know all that information under that SLA changelog. And thirdly, I would like to mention another feature requested by one of our customer is the recurring incident. So the recurring incident, as you can, you probably already see some of those in the incident list view, that the system now have a recurring engine that has ability to create incident based on a pre-selected incident template. So what you have to do is actually very simple. You select a pre-configured incident template, which is already existing feature in the system, and then you define a very detailed repeating pattern. We have the ability to define the repeating pattern as daily, weekly, monthly, or yearly, and it has a end methods. You can choose between never and after some a certain amount of occurrence or on a specific date. And once it's configured and activated, then the system will automatically create an incident based on that schedule and based on the incident template. And besides all those great features, let's dive into some of the other views that's probably very much improved here. One of them is the report view, as a lot of our customers has complained about our Silverlight controls on the browser, and we're excited to announce that in ServiceWise 10, the report view will not rely on Silverlight anymore and will have totally HTML5 based graphic reports. And in the report view, not only did we get rid of the Silverlight control, we actually did a lot of redesign as well. And right now, as you can see, if I click on the report folder, it will show you all the reports that's under that folder in a thumbnail view. So you will have a better understanding of what kind of report is under that folder. And we have, like I mentioned before, we have redesigned the setup report view dialog. Before it's kind of not easy to understand and hard to use, but in this version we really split the view into two parts. One is the views you're having, and the other is some properties you have to define for that view, which is very simple, just the name, the nodes, and the account type who can access that, and applicable private reports that can be created under that folder, under that view. And one of the improved features here is before one account type can be only assigned with one report view, and in ServiceWise 10 we now have the ability to actually assign multiple report views to a single account type. So say like this director of support account type, he can actually have access to another report view as well. And once configured, to switch between the views is very simple. You can just switch to another view with a few clicks on the folder tree, and then you're in another view, which is very convenient. And report view will always remember your last selected reports or folder, and it will always focus on the last selected report folder, even you're in even if you log in from another system, it's always remembered. And of course, for the great newly developed HTML5 graph reports. We also have the ability to drill down as before, and the drill down reports will be in a separate tab as well. And that's something happened in the report view. And now let's move on to the knowledge view. So in the knowledge view, we're also having a new GUI here, but we are also introducing some exciting new features. One of them is the presentation view. And the presentation view, we really did a lot of thinking here. We call it presentation view as we thought it will be a new way to actually present your knowledge base to your customers or your team members. And it's really easy to configure. Here's what I'm able to do within just a couple minutes. And you can turn your existing knowledge base into a presentation view base with a few clicks. And the knowledge presentation view is organized in cards. Basically, each card will be representing a piece of knowledge or a piece of news or anything that you care to share with your audience. And on the card itself, you can define different layout that it will show up on the end user portal. And we have predefined 12 layouts, and we're adding more in the future. And you have the ability to embed images and videos, and you can have link the knowledge to show up in the card, in a single card as well. Basically, we thought it will be a really great way to show you how the knowledge can be presented to other people and not just a task-driven list view. So if I click preview, and then you can see that I have configured a little preview of our presentation view here. Basically, you will have a lot of cards here. You can drill down, click into it, and you will see the details here. You can add your own videos and images, and the HTML editor actually gives you a lot of ability to actually modify your text and the messages that you actually want to show in the detail. And you probably already noticed that the folder tree here will be translated to the space here. So you can actually have different space, and under each folder, the deep folder level will be translated into a catalog-driven space folder as well. And this view is totally mobile friendly, and we actually have a button here called preview in phone. So if a user is ever viewing this from a phone version, and as you can see, it will automatically transmit all the contents into a mobile friendly look. And you will still have all the catalogs, and you will still have the menus and everything. And not only the phone version, it's actually good for iPad as well. You can drag it to be bigger size, and it will show you how it automatically adjusts itself to different resolutions. So that's one exciting feature in KnowledgeWise. And another thing I would like to mention to everybody is we have moved the idea book view into a separate view, so it will not be sitting under the task view anymore. It will have a separate view of its own. That's where you can actually define your knowledge book here and share it as a link. One thing I forgot to mention, the presentation view is pretty much a total public URL-based view that you can share with anybody with just a link. And you can view on this link that every card actually have its own URL that is very convenient to share with anybody that has access to a browser. Okay, so let's move on to the calendar view. In the calendar view, we have not used any of the existing part in 9.5. We have developed a brand new calendar view here. And as requested, we have now bringing you the work week and the full week. And we have the ability to switch between business hours and the full day hours. And all the tasks that have a planned date will appear on the calendar view as well. And you can switch to a single day view to view all the tasks that's coming up in your calendar. And next part, let's move on to global search. Global search used to be a button sitting on the top right, and it's now a separate view that you can always access when you're doing something else. And we have redesigned the GUI, and you can click into it to view details. It will search all of the results in terms of incidents, knowledge, and web activity, events, and anything in the system. And another thing is we have actually moved over the FormWise setting. You can still access it under the utility view, but it has been moved under the tool menu as well. Once click onto that, it will also be a separate view as well, where you can actually define all the FormWise related settings here. And you can have a toolbar collapsed, and once expanded, you will have the ability to switch between the major FormWise functionalities. And Project Archive similarly have been redesigned to be sitting in a separate tab as well. So that's pretty much all the GUI change and the big feature that's going to be coming in Service 10 web. That's really for the team web. And let me see if I have anything more here to talk about. Yeah, some more usability improvements like the per page settings used to be sitting under utility view. It's now right on the incident list view, and actually on every incident on every list view, and it's always remembered, so you don't have to worry about clicking onto them every time you're in the system. So as we're wrapping up the major changes in ServiceWise 10, I would also like to bring your attention to our mobile app solution. As mentioned by our CEO, that we're actually releasing a ServiceWise mobile app along with ServiceWise 10, and I would like to show you a bit of that. Uh, Pardon me for a few seconds to bring the projector up. Okay, so you guys probably have a view of the ServiceWise mobile app here. Let me switch to a cleaner background so you can have a better look. Okay. So in this ServiceWise mobile beta version, it was called ServiceWise, but it actually will work with both CustomWise and ServiceWise database system. And in this mobile version, we have really focused on to bring you the basic functionalities that's available on web. So if you're logged in as a team member, and this mobile app is for team member to use only in this beta version, you will have the ability to switch between different projects, and you will mainly have 4 views, which is the incident and event, customer, or contacts view. And in each view, you will have a list-based view here, and you can do basic filtering on the status owner or some of the predefined fields here. And you can also submit a new incident, and you can click into an incident to view the details. You can view the attachment that's on the incident. Of course, you can upload your local files from your phone to the incident as attachment as well. We have the description field, which is time spent enabled. You can drill down to your customer information here as well. And little actions here. Some of the workflow actions are available here as well. And another big feature that's adding at the last time was the notification feature. So actually we're having the notification engine integrated into the mobile phone as well. So actually in your new admin, in ServiceWise 10 admin, there will be a section for you to configure your mobile phone notification. And the mobile phone notification is similar to what you already have in email notification. In the email format, you can define dynamic fields that's generated from a ticket when you send out the notification. That's similar to the mobile phone here. So in each notification, you can actually define the fields that you wanted to add it to the notification, and one at the send out time, it will automatically retrieve those information from the database and generate the notification to the end user. And of course, you can delete notification once you've already read that. And in this mobile phone version, we are supporting Android and iOS system. Other OS, mobile OS system are not supported at this time. I'll probably let you guys know if we ever have a plan to support other platforms. That's briefly what we are having on this mobile phone app. And let me see here. So I think I'm pretty much finished with the new features that's going to be in ServiceWise 10. And I think we still have a few more minutes left, so I'll be looking at some questions and driving a Q&A session right now. So everybody just feel free to ask any questions, and I'll be looking over them and address them. So I actually saw one asking about the is the mobile app only for Android and Apple? Will it work on BlackBerry? Yeah, that one I think I just mentioned that it will in this release it will be only Android and Apple mobile system. Someone has asked about any major change to asset management. So actually ServiceWise is not supposed to be covered here, but I can give you a little pre-look here. We're actually building a new ServiceWise, which is having, it actually has a new GUI. Well, it's probably still look a lot like the old system, but it will have a brand new interface to keep up with ServiceWise 10. It's not going to be released along with ServiceWise 10, but it will come along shortly in the future. And we actually have introduced the group actions on the asset view. So you can actually do group edit on assets now. And we have improved the location concept that's going to be in the new ServiceWise, and we will improve the logical relationship map, which we will rename it to CMDB map in the future. That's pretty much what will be coming along in the new ServiceWise. Okay, so let me see here. So someone has asked about, are there more custom fields pages available? And they're running 9.3. So that one is actually, it's not something we did in 10, but in 9.5 we have already added 10 custom pages for customer view, and there are 10 pages for incident view as well. And I think we have a plan to add more in this year.
Charles, we have changed our mechanism, so adding more pages, it does not require additional development work in the future.
Okay. And IMV. So someone has asked about, is there a better email parsing support in the release? Are there more triggers or user-created bold triggers? Is there redundant LDAP server support? So the question is divided into three parts. The first part, better email passing support, is actually not in the current release, but it's going to be very soon in the next patch, 1 or 2 patch release. We're replacing our email module. And in terms of a customer user creatable triggers, it's not available at this moment. And redundant LDAP server support, I think we have the ability to integrate with more than one LDAP server support at this moment. And we'll also be introducing SAML, single sign-on protocol support as well in the next 1 or 2 patch release.
Yeah, it's also important to point out that with the major version release of 10, we have more development resources to take care of customers' important enhancement requests. So some of the requests will be important to our future development directions, as well as keeping our customer happy. So we are putting more resources to do enhancement based on the customer's needs.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thanks to that. And I saw a question asking about, is there a IM feature in version 10? And I assume that would be the chatting feature. So you guys probably already see in the preview of ServiceWise 10 that we're considering of adding a chatting feature from a vendor. But in the end, after quite some time of development and research, we actually have to decide to build a platform ourselves. So it's coming a little late, but once it's out, it's going to have chatting support both on web and in the mobile app. I saw a question asking about, is auto submission still available in 10? I assume that means the auto submission from email. Yes, that's also available. That's still available in 10.
Yeah, all the previous features are still supported.
Right. And we do like to take this to everybody's attention is that in the initial release of version 10, project plan feature will be temporarily disabled as it's still under construction, but it will soon be coming back in the next patch release.
With a different planning chatting engine, much more modern and user-friendly.
Right. So let me read through the questions. Will the new ServiceWise be in 2016? And the answer is yes. Oh, sorry, I probably didn't saw the first question. Does the customer search allow you to search any fields that you have set up, or just the customer name? So in terms of the customer search, if you mean the customer search in the customer dropdown, it will always be focusing on the name. But in the future, we will adding the search ability to search against more fields on the search box in the toolbar in the future.
And also, customer search does support all field search as well, not via the keyword, but in the future we can enhance the keyword search to cover more fields. Charles, we probably also want to mention we want to encourage our customer to upgrade to 10. Obviously, we're excited about the 10 release, and we are fully committed to further develop 10.0 with 10.1 and 10.5 and patch releases to make our customer to be proud of using our tools to gain productivity and to enjoy the fun of using a much better tools. And for that, we'll keep improving with more releases.
Yes.
Some of you might be using very old versions, and really it might be a good idea to talk to your account managers to arrange sooner, I would say sooner better, for the upgrading service options available. And we will, for some of our customers who are using our SaaS solutions, obviously upgrading to a new version shall be easier. We want to do our best to upgrade our host customers to the new version sooner and better. Sooner will be as soon as possible. And we are confident that 10.0 will please many of our customers, and more importantly, moving forward, will be committed to make our tool to be if not the best, to be one of the leading tools for this industry.
Right. In addition to that, I saw a question asking, will any current setup be wiped out when upgrading to version 10? And the answer is no. We always keep up with all the setups you have in previous system and bring it to the new system. And to make sure everything works right, like Terry mentioned, we encourage everybody to submit a upgrade test and request with us, and we'll conduct a complimentary upgrade test for you, and then once everything is ready and you're good to go.
Yeah, obviously upgrade will require some service which will not be free, and also I also want to mention we're also improving our staging admin features it should be done within 1 month of time frames. So with the staging admin enhancement, will allow you to test the upgrade with your production system with a backup staging system so that the upgrade process could be tested against the staging system for the new setting, for the data integrity, and for the checking if all the old settings are still retained and properly with the new features that you might need to enable. Obviously, with the 10, there are lots of new features you can really deploy and make your system to be much more optimized. And so, therefore, there are configuration and upgrade services and process optimization services available for you guys to consider. And with the staging admin, we're hoping the upgrade process can be not only be easy and reliable, but more importantly, can be well tested, so that you have a confidence that you are testing everything. You are testing the new configuration with the old data and with the old process improved. And then once staging is tested, approved, then push the button to upgrade to the production system.
And also, I saw some questions asking about our installation guide. And as you probably already know, that we have launched our new websites, and we have updated our help site in terms of the interface, but we were working on the content as well. Once we have updated all the guides. Basically, right now, the What's New guide is updated. We'll update the other guides from in the time being, and we'll definitely let you guys know.
Yeah, it's important to emphasize that Texel is committed to providing the best solutions for the industry we are in, and we're fully committed to make our customer happy, to serve your needs. And for the upgrade, in this case, whatever the old custom development and the data and the process have configured, the upgrade process will keep your setting, will keep your data, will make you work with this as the improved product. And we stand behind you, and meaning, we are working features like staging admin to make you feel confident that, sometimes you just need to work with us, sometimes you can work by yourself for the upgrade, because we will allow you to test everything. And while the staging admin is still, for the enhancement is still 1 month away, but we have our service teams, we will work with you to make your upgrade successful. It's important to share our excitement with you, because with the 10, we believe we're on the top and in terms of providing the best solutions, and more importantly, we are confident we have more resources to satisfy your enhancement needs and to make the product to be truly fine-tuned for the function and usability and the modern-looking user interface.
Okay. So thanks to Terrence's comments, I think we're almost at the end here. Just a quick sum up for everybody. We have released the new product, and we have released the new website, and also I would like to mention that we are having our sister products webinar tomorrow at the same time today. And if you guys are interested, you're welcome to register for this product webinar as well. It also bring you a lot of insights of what DevSuite can do, and ServiceWise and DevSuite are integrated more closely than ever in version 10. So
including features like a requirement now can be easily linked with customer service support, and more importantly, you shall see some of the development on the new user interface for DevSuite shall be ported to ServiceWise CustomWise.
Okay, so thanks everybody for your time. We're excited that ServiceWise 10 is released. Thanks everybody's time, and we'll keep you guys updated with additional new information. Thanks everybody. Thanks, Darren.
Thank you.